Hello everybody, this is Ian Lamont, publisher of In 30 Minutes Guides, including Google Drive and Docs in 30 Minutes, available from in30minutes.com. Today I'm going to be talking about using Google Forms and getting an email every time somebody uses your Google form. The approach I'm going to show you works whether you're using Windows, Mac, or a Chromebook. However, I do advise using the Chrome browser because Google designs all of its products to work best with Chrome. And actually, the product I'm going to show you is a third-party add-in to Google Forms. So anyways, here's the situation. If you use Google Forms, usually when you look at responses, they show up here in this particular the responses tab, or you can, I've shown another video about this, you can create a spreadsheet based on the form responses and then you can review them at your leisure. However, what if you want to have an email sent every time someone fills out your form? This one's called Pet Preferences in America. And you don't do it by going to send, which lets you collect email addresses, but there's no option here to send an email every time someone uses the form. Google does have a buried function in here. If you go to the Responses tab, click on the More Actions icon, you can choose one that says Get Email Notifications for New Responses, and then you just basically select that. However, the email that you get from Google is really, really rudimentary, and here's what it looks like. So this is one of the forms that I created yesterday, and I selected that option to have an email every time someone uses the form, and literally it's just an email showing that someone used the form. It looks like this: Google Forms, one new response. It shows what the link is, and then it shows view the summary. Now this is obviously not ideal because you have to click on a link to open it up and look at it. Maybe you're not logged in. Or even worse, what if you want somebody else or a group of people to receive an email notification? That means you have to set up permissions, sharing permissions for the Google form or for the spreadsheet, and it's a big mess. Fortunately, there is an easier way to deal with this, and this is how it works. If you go to Google and search for one of their actually, let me find it here. Yeah, here it is. There's this Google Workspace Marketplace has this add-in called Email Notifications for Google Forms, and I've tried it out and it works pretty well. Basically, go to the Google Workspace Marketplace. You can also search in it for Google. Like I just searched for email notifications for Google Forms. It's the top result. And then it's a Forms add-on, and you would install it, and this would be attached to your Google Drive account. And what you can do with it is you can actually set it up so you can email responses for a particular form, and let's do that right now. So I've added the add-on to my Google Drive account. My Google Forms is attached to Google Drive, and you can see a new icon up here: Email Notifications for Google Forms. So select that, and then it will let you enable notifications. There's other things you can do, and that's what most people want to do: enable notifications. And then this little pop-up shows up, and you can manage the rules. So the way that it works is you have to create a rule. It's very simple. So the rule name, I'm going to call this Pet Prefs Email Notification. Email addresses to notify. So right here, this is from one of my work email accounts. I'm going to have it send notifications to another work account that I have, info@i30media.com. All right. I could also add other email addresses. So multiple email addresses separated by comma. So for instance, my colleague Nicole, I could have her get one too. All right. Sender's name. So you can change this. So maybe I'm going to say Pet Preferences Form. And reply to address. This means that if somebody gets one of these notifications, if they have a question about it, this is where the reply will go. You can also do something like attach files, and that could be maybe, I don't know, some sort of legal disclaimer, something like that. You can use the visual editor to set up the notification, and actually it's a pretty useful thing to do. So form response. Please review, And what I've done is I've actually changed the text here and adding some more information. You could add a picture, you could jazz it up, you could have a bullet list like maybe as you review the response, keep in mind the following 3 steps. So you can really go nuts with that and then save it. And you may be asking, Oh, there's one other feature that's really cool too. With conditional notifications, you can send emails to different people based on form answers. So let's say that my form, somebody answers dogs. They prefer dogs. So I could send a response. I could send a notification based on that. So let's say the person who's an expert in dogs for my company, that person will get one notification. If it's cats, somebody else will get that. So you can see the types of things that you can do. You can also let people who sent the people who filled out the form um, get a notification as well. You can generate a PDF. So there's all these things you can do. And actually, here's what it looks like. That's not what I wanted to look at. So, all right, here's one of my test forms. This is actually a real form. I did a test yesterday, and I used the visual editor to create a form that says this: someone just completed a checklist and contact form on the EasyGenie website. This is just test data, but you can see it took all the answers and sent them as an email, and it sent it right to me. And later on, I'm going to set it up so I can send it to somebody else as well. So this is really a flexible add-in for Google Forms. Again, it's the email notifications for Google Forms from Digital Inspiration. One thing that you should note about this, I think the free version of this add-on enables 20 responses per day. If you need more than that, there's some sort of premium version for it. I'm not really sure what the pay scale is. So if you're like doing something, let's say you're creating a form for a big school system or something like that, you're going to need to upgrade to the premium version, which I think is a justifiable thing considering how useful this particular tool is. My name is Ian Lamont. I'm the publisher of Google Drive and Docs in 30 Minutes. If this video helped you, please take a moment to like it or follow me on YouTube. And you can also see more of my videos about Google Forms, Google Docs, and all kinds of online tools on in30minutes.com. Thank you so much for watching.